Good morning and welcome back to Saturday Morning Switch. With the recent addition of a demo for Rayman Legends Definitive Edition to the Switch, now seems as good a time as ever to check out all the free demos of games you can download. Not including Test Punch or Splatfests, there's been a neat half dozen, from platformers to puzzlers to, well, just dance. And now here's a whistle-stop tour of them all, starting off with launch darling, Snipperclips. Even now, almost half a year later, the controller setup at the start of Snipperclips confuses me, as it swaps your orientation with no warning. But the core concept of the game remains as charming as ever, as you and a friend snip bits off each other to make shapes and solve puzzles, like bursting balloons or dunking a basketball. They're fun to solve too, offering the right amount of challenge and satisfaction, especially if you come up with a cheap way to win, as I do here. You can even play solo, though at that point it can become all too easy to accidentally press the wrong button and whoops, you've cut or reformed the shape, there goes all your hard work. It's also a really small demo, only offering a few levels and a tutorial, which maybe reflects on the relatively short nature of the whole game, despite clocking it at £17.99. Still, this demo does a good job of conveying the magic and charm the game has, so if you've got the cash to spare, I'd still say this is worth checking out. Puyo Tetris! Though I must ask, do you really need a demo of Tetris? I refuse to believe there are people out there who haven't played Tetris. Either way, this demo, alongside the obligatory tutorials, allows you to try single player and multiplayer of two modes. VOEZ is where you pick one of the two and fight opponents also playing either game, while Swap has you swapping back and forth every half minute or so between the two. The end result feels weirdly sedate at times, as even when I was on the brink of death, it never really set in until I lost. My victories just felt like they happened, with no final desperate attempt to clinch the match. This mode also hammers home that Tetris is the A tier half of the game, with Puyo feeling okay, but not nearly as engaging. Still, what it does bring to the table is a cool aesthetic and charm that helps liven up the sometimes dull world of Tetris, much like Nintendo did previously in Tetris DS. I don't think this is as good as that classic, but as a fun puzzle title on Switch, it works, even without Fusion or any of the other modes being playable in this demo. Still, the price point of £34.99 on Switch compared to £20 or so on PlayStation makes it hard to champion this particular version. Blaster Master Zero! I've never been the biggest advocate or fan of retro gaming, so a remake of a late 80s NES game was always going to have an uphill battle with me. Having A and B be swapped from what you'd logically expect them to be was another instant point of alienation, as I struggled to get past the start menu. Throw in some retro storytelling, which is as utterly garbage as you'd expect, levels that have plenty of dead ends and no real flow, and of course the classic pixel art styles which have never been my thing, and needless to say, my first 10 minutes with this were horrible. To give BMZ credit though, I warmed to it as time went on. Once my head adapted to the controls and discovered the Y button should have been my go-to for shooting, and I'd had time to learn a few enemy patterns and tricks, I started having more fun. The two stages you get in the demo felt pretty large, there was some interesting gameplay elements like the treadmills you power up to raise walls temporarily, and in the later stage you got a nice variety of weaponry. Plus, considering this is £8.99, the cheapest price point of any of these games with the demo, I consider this offering a good amount of bang for your buck. That said, I still don't think this is a title for me, but if you like old school or just 2D platforming meets shooting action, this does a lot, especially with the car and on-foot sections mixing the gameplay and perspectives, and helping to keep things fresh. Just Dance 2070! After years and years of seeing wacky dance numbers at Ubisoft's E3 press conferences, I finally got to try it out myself, and I've got to say, I have no idea what happened for the few minutes I played. Firstly, I managed to accidentally enable 2-player, hence my partner not doing anything in this footage, but also I guess character choice matters because it affects the routine you'll be doing. Not that I could really tell what dance moves I was supposed to be doing. Clear poses with arms outstretched for one thing, but half the time the 4 stick men were all ramming into each other, and I had no idea. There's no tutorial either, you're just expected to know. Despite all this, I failed my way to 2 stars in the one song the demo offered, and I can now safely say I have no interest in going back to this, especially at the £50 eShop and £35 retail price point. Heck, it's cheaper on all of the other 1,000 platforms it's out on. If you want a Switch music game, I'd stick with VOEZ. Sure, you can't see people dancing around like idiots, and it won't have ultra popular songs you hear in the charts, but it's just a flat out better game. Disgaea 5 complete! From the off, you'll very quickly start to drown in text and mechanics. As the 6th main game in the series, there's been a lot of ideas and systems from past titles carried forward to here, which ensures you're in a tutorial every minute or so during the demo. Still, Everything feels familiar, from artwork to character personalities to the SRPG gameplay, so veterans will be at home here. Newer players may struggle a bit with trying to comprehend everything, but luckily you can quite easily zero in on a few basic systems and slowly expand your knowledge from there. This demo also felt pretty big, though it's hard to say how much actual gameplay is involved between the copious amounts of text and demos. £45 retail and £50 eShop, this complete version also isn't much more than the standard PS4 one, and when combined with the portability that has made previous PSP and Vita Ultimate versions of Disgaea easy to digest, I'd say all that makes this the version of D5 to get. It's certainly worth trying out a demo for yourself, especially if you're a fan of the other big SRPG franchise in the industry, Fire Emblem, and don't mind the idea of that series, but a bit more weeb. And lastly, the one that made me do this topic to begin with, Rayman Legends Definitive Edition. When I played this on 360 back in 2013, I thought the game was fun, but lacked the polish of 2011's Origins, and in 2017, well, nothing much has changed. The Rayman platforming is still great, as is the quest to get as many lums and teensies as you can, with some cool challenge areas and plenty of hidden secrets to discover if you want gold on every level. The problem is with Murphy, the green frog fairy thing, who can help manipulate elements of the level, but feels like one layer of mechanics too many, especially when he's out of position, or you have to stop and mash A so he can tickle someone into submission. It breaks the rhythm and purity Origins have. Though, in fairness, a lot of those levels are included in Legends, and the music levels are still here if you enjoy jumping and pumping to the beat. As for the definitive status, that comes from an enhanced Homefoot multiplayer mode, and local co-op between systems. That's it. Considering the £30 retail and as yet unannounced eShop price of Rayman ahead of its 12th of September release, and you can get it for half of that on other platforms, I couldn't champion this version, even with this demo giving you several levels and modes, and a fair snapshot of the game as a whole. Sorry Rayman, I just thought there was more. And there you go, that's all the demo action out on the Switch right now, which means this episode is done. We're still a week or two removed from Mario plus Rabbids, but luckily it's Gamescom to the rescue, so expect next week's episode to be focused on the news coming out of there. Till then though, thanks for watching as always, and if you could, please give us a like, leave a comment or subscribe to the channel. Until next time, take care y'all.